Very good morning, students. Yes, in the last class, we started to see our third prose, that is in celebration of being alive. Yes, in that previous class, I taught you about the biography of the author, and we have discussed the title, that is the importance of being, sorry, the in celebration of being alive, and the name of the author, you know very well, Dr. Christian Bernard. And I taught you the first three paragraphs, and already I told you this is a speech given by Dr. Bernard. And another important and remarkable note, that is, he was the first doctor in the world who had done successfully a heart transplantation surgery from for human to human. Okay. And in the first paragraph, I told you about a strategic point, how many children were born per year, and regard next thing, that how many of you are they are living, or how many have died, and how many of them, the rest of them are from for cripples. And in the second paragraph, I told that uh, he had discussed a car accident he met. And in the third paragraph, his pain, how did he express his pain, and also he wants to serve for his patient, and moreover they had a child at home, so that he feels pain, okay, for his wife also. And these are the things we have seen in the previous classes. And now let me go ahead. Yes, listen to the page number 68 in your text. Page number 68 in your text. Page number 68 from the fourth paragraph onwards. Clear? Yes. Let me read out the fourth paragraph. My father, had he still been alive, would have said, "My son, it's God's will. That's the way God tests you. Suffering enables you, makes you a better person." See, this is what philosophy of life. This is what the philosophy of life. In the third paragraph, I clearly told you that he was getting an anger and also some pain. What is his anger? Why God gives me a pain? This is what is anger. And he wanted to serve his patient, whereas he is not able now. Why? Because he met an accident, and he was admitted in the hospital, so that he feels bad about himself. Why? He has his patients at his hospital, so that he has to go there and serve his patients, and moreover his wife also has to take care of her child. They have some service, they have some duty to be done, but now they are unable, so that they had anger, especially the doctor had anger, and also he has some pain, that is agony. So when he is in such condition, his father gives some philosophical words. What he says? Yes, listen. My father had he still been alive. Okay. My father, he had been still alive, would have said. Okay. What he would have said? My son, it's God's will. Whose will? God's will. So you faced an accident. It happens unexpectedly. But whose will is this? This is what the God's will. This is the way God tests you. So in our life, we have so many problems. Okay. Whenever we have problem, we automatically praise God and worshipping God, and feel pathetic on our problem. And God try to save us. See, in this pandemic situations, what we people are doing, we people every day are praying the God and getting relaxed. Why? Because God will take care of us. This is what the situation nowadays in our world, in this world. Likewise, in every person, in individual's life, everybody have some pain. We have to experience it. We have to experience it. This is the way God tests us, whether we are able to come over from the suffering. Clear? So his father gave him some philosophical idea if he would have lived. My son, just underline, my son, it's God's will. That's the way God tests you. See the next very, very important line. Suffering ennobles. Underline ENNOBLES. Ennobles means what? Dignified. Suffering makes you to become a dignified person. Okay. See, we made some mistakes in our life. We make so many mistakes. Mistakes make man. Man makes mistakes. That's good. Man makes mistakes, but mistakes make man. Clear? Which means that through our mistakes we will learn many things. Likewise, if we are suffering, through the suffering we will be learning so many things. So this is the way God will test us. Yes, experience is the best teacher. Okay, experience is the best teacher. So we have to experience everything which is happening which are happening in our life. Clear? So if you are, or if we people are experiencing our suffering, then only we will be dignified. If everything happens in a happiest way, we will not be a dignified person in life. We have to experience some bad things also. Then only our mind will be settled. We can be a strong person. So this is what the concept of his father. So suffering enables you, makes you a better person, makes you a better person. Underline it. Suffering enables you, very important, makes you a better person. This is what dealt in the 4th paragraph. Now move to the 5th paragraph. But he speaks now. But as a doctor, being a doctor, I see nothing noble in patience. I see nothing noble. So what his father thought, suffering enables you to become a better person. Yes, of course. But what is his thought? Being a doctor, he has to serve the patient. He has to serve his patients. But he is admitted in the hospital. Then how can he take care of his patient so that he feels pity, he feels anger? What he says, but as a doctor I see nothing noble. Nothing noble. If I am at a bed taking relaxed or taking rest, then how can I take care of my patients? Clear? See, in a patient's thrashing around, okay, write it down. See, here it is an idiom, okay. THRASHING, thrashing around. Thrashing around, that is an idiom, which means that to move about, I write here, to move about, restlessly, To move about, restless. That is what? Thrashing around. Noble in a patient thrashing around. In a sweet soaked bed, mind clouded in agony. Okay. See, now his mind is clouded. Clouded. It's full of agony. Agony, pain. Okay. He is not in a happy mind. He is suffering. His mind is clouded, fully covered with pain. Then how can he be a restful person at a soaked bed? Not thinking about his patient. Is this an ennoble one? Is this a dignified one? Being a doctor, he feels pity. Being a doctor, he feels pity for his patients. Listen. Nor can I see any nobility in the crying of a lonely child in a ward at night. So listen, another important point. Nor can I see any nobility in the crying of a lonely child in a ward at night. So he says clearly that by seeing others, those who are in suffering, I have to serve them. But what I am now? I am simply at a bed taking rest. Okay, not serving to my patients or a child. Is this a noble one? Is this a nobility? He asks himself, and this is the reason why he is having angry or agony. This is all about the fifth paragraph. Now move to the sixth one. In those days, they did not have sophisticated heart surgery. Just underline sophisticated. Sophisticated, you know very well, luxurious. Luxurious. If you have all well equipments, all well advanced house, whatever you want, if it is there, if it is available, that is what sophisticated, luxury or splendor. Okay. If you have everything, whatever you want, or whatever you wish, if you are able to get, that means you are living a sophisticated life. Means that is what sophisticated. In those days, they did not have sophisticated heart surgery. So in those days, which means in olden days. In olden days, the people, they did not have a well advanced heart surgery treatment. I have always found the suffering of children particularly heartbreaking. See, I have always, see here I refers to the doctor, that is the writer, Dr. Bernard. So Dr. Bernard had always found suffering of children particularly heartbreaking. See, he is very particular about heartbreaking children. Heartbreaking children, those who are having pain, or those who are having heart attacks, or those who are supposed to be done a cardiac surgery exclusively for the children, because of their total trust in doctors and nurses. Yes, absolutely. If we people are suffering from any cardiac pain, we should believe the words of doctors and words of the service of the nurses. So in our opinion, doctors are the next God. Okay, doctors are the next God. So they believe you are going to help them. Yes, the children, those who are suffering, not only the children, because why I am using the word children, because he is very particular about children, so that I am using the word children. So they believe you are going to help them. Yes, they believe that the doctors will help them. If you can't them accept their fate, in case, if here you refer to the doctors, in case the doctors are not helping them, what will happen? They should face their fate. Fate, yes, death. So here, his guiltiness kills him. Yes, being a doctor, he should serve his patients, but he had met an accident and was admitted in the hospital, and he was unable to serve his patient, so that he felt guiltiness. He felt what? Guiltiness. Yes, the children, those who are suffering, they are depending on the doctor's treatment. Okay. Yes, he clearly told that in those days they did not have any sophisticated treatment for heart surgery. But now, yes, we are having. In that time, the children and the patients, they believe the doctors and the nurses. If the doctors can't help them, just imagine the life of the people, life of the patient. They will be seeing their fate. Yes, at last they have to die. They go through mutilating surgery. Just underline mutilating surgery in those days. Why? He clearly told that in those days they did not have any sophisticated surgery. They have only mutilating surgery. Mutilating surgery means cutting flesh or tissue from part of our body. Okay. Yes, involves or cutting or removing of tissue. Okay, that is what mutilating surgery. And afterwards they don't comply. This is all about the sixth. Now listen to the seventh one. Now he is from the first paragraph to sixth paragraph. He has spoken about his personal life as well as his duty towards the society as a doctor, and how his guiltiness kills him, and how should be a doctor, how should a doctor should treat his patients. Okay, and he has spoken about suffering also, the philosophy, everything. And from seventh paragraph onwards, he is going to describe some experiences he had faced already, and on thinking those experiences he satisfied himself. Okay, that we have to accept the present tense, we have to accept the situation, and this is the way we should live. Okay, now listen from the paragraph 7. One morning several years ago, he's not going to tell any stories, whereas he is sharing his personal experience as a doctor. One morning, yes, one day, several years ago, many years ago, he witnessed, who? The doctor witnessed what I call the Grand Prix, Grand, Grand Prix. X is silent, okay? You should read the word as what? Grand Prix. X is silent. He witnessed what he called the Grand Prix. Grand Prix, yes, international motor race. Grand Prix was, which means a motor race. Grand Prix means international motor race. Yeah, of Cape Town. Cape Town, that's a place where he has studied, a Red Cross Children's Hospital. Yes, listen, he is telling his experience where it is in the Red Cross Children's Hospital. One morning, that is many years before or many years ago, one morning he had witnessed, the doctor had seen a Grand Prix. Okay, that is a international motor race of Cape Town's Red Cross Children's Hospital. It opened his eyes. It opened my eyes. My refer to the writer. That is the Dr. Deb Bernard. He says, it opened his eyes to the fact that he was missing something in all my thinking about suffering. So something basic that was full of solace for me. Solace, S-O-L-A-C, solace, yes, comfort. Comfort or consolation whenever you are in pain. Okay, whenever you are suffering by your heart, you can feel comfort yourself. Okay, you can get relaxed from your pain. That is what solace. So he is suffering, and now he is consoling himself. Now he is consoling himself. For how he is consoling himself, he thinking two incidents in his personal life, and after thinking, while thinking those two experiences, he is consoling himself. Yes, it happens, I have to live my life. Okay, 8th paragraph. What happened there? Where? In the children's hospital. What happened there? That morning was that a nurse had left a breakfast trolley. Trolley, you know, in hospitals, in a big hospitals. You can see the picture here, I guess. This is what trolley. This is what a trolley. So which is used to, yes, it's an object which is used to drag the food items towards the patient's place. Okay. What happened there in the children's hospital that morning, that particular morning, a nurse had left a breakfast trolley. A nurse who had left, who dropped, who left a trolley there unattended. See the word unattended. She didn't attend it, whereas she left the trolley there. And very soon, immediately what happened? This trolley, that trolley was commanded by an intrepid crew of two. See the word intrepid, INTREPID, intrepid. Intrepid means what? Bold and daring. Bold and daring. Clear? Yes. An intrepid crew of two. So two persons. They started to drag the trolley. Who were the two persons? Yes, a driver and a mechanic. Yeah, driver and a mechanic. A driver and a mechanic. See, the mechanic provided motor power. Motor power, you know, pulling. Okay. Who was pulling it? Who was pushing it? Yes, pulling and pushing. Who was pushing the trolley? That is the mechanic provided motor power by galloping along behind the trolley with his head down. How he is pushing it? By his head down. By his head, he is galloping along. And while the driver, who is the driver? Yes, the second one. A driver seated on the mower deck, held on with one hand and steered by scraping his foot on the floor. See in your textbook in page number 68, the mechanic and the driver. Okay, the driver sits and they are doing this work. The choice of roles was easy because the mechanic was totally blind. See the pathetic situation. The work was very easy. The doctor says that it was easy. How? Because the mechanic was totally blind and the driver had only one arm. Only one arm. He has only one hand, and the mechanic who has lost his eyesight. He is blind. Then how they do that? Because they want to enjoy the situation. See, the two characters in this prose who were introduced with the doctor, a driver and a mechanic. Clear? The driver who has lost his arm, who has lost his one hand, and a mechanic who has lost his eyesight. But they were enjoying. Imagine, they were enjoying. This is what the important point of this prose. Okay, though the children were not physically powerful, but they are enjoying their life. Why? Because this is what the celebration of life. We have to celebrate our life. Why? Because still we are living. This is what God's grace. Though we have so many problems, we have to live. Okay, why? We have to celebrate our living. We have to celebrate our life. Because till date, still this time, at the moment I am speaking with you. Why? Because I am living. So that I have to be celebrating my life. So this is the reason how he has consoling himself from the bad experience. That is after meeting a accident. This is the way he was consoling. See, those two persons, one who is blind and another one is who doesn't have his arm, they are living happily. Then what's the reason? Should I be painful or agony? They put on quite a show that day, judging by the laughter. See, judging by the laughter and shouts of encouragement. They are laughing and encouraging of the patients. It was much better entertainment than anything anyone puts on the Indianapolis 500 car race. You just underline Indianapolis. Indian at the Indianapolis, there is a place where car race has been happening. That much of happiness they had done in that hospital. There was a grand finale of scattered plates and silverware. Finale, you know, final. Finale. It should be pronounced as what? Finale. You should not read as a final. It is what? Finale. Finale means yes, end. Finale means what? End or climax. Of scattered plates and silverware before the nurse and ward sister caught up with them, scolded them and put them back to bed. Okay, now the sisters have come there and scolded those two patients and asked them to be there to go to their bed, and they can taken all those plates and settled on the trolley, and this was happening. Okay, see, though they had lost their eyesight and hand, but they are enjoying, they are happy, and also they make others to be happy. Clear? This is what very very important. 10th paragraph. Let me tell you about these two. So now he is going to tell about these two characters, a driver and a mechanic. The mechanic was all of 7 years old. How many years old the mechanic? He was the 7 years old. One night, when his mother, he is telling the story of this mechanic boy. Okay, he used the word as mechanic, that's all. One night, when his mother and father were drunk. See the word? When his mother and father were drunk, his mother threw a lantern. You know, lantern, a light. A light. You know, lantern. Which is expressing its flaming with the help of kerosene. In village, yeah, often we are using. Okay. Yes, throw a lantern at his father. Okay, they were drunk and they fought, they argued, and at last the mother who throwed a lantern, a light, at his father, but it was missing. It missed, and the lantern broke over the child and head and shoulder. The fire which is burning with the help of kerosene, it is missed to hit the father and hit the mechanic, and it burned his see, he suffered severe third-degree burns on the upper part of his body, and lost both his eyes. Okay, due to this fire accident, the mechanic lost his eyes. This is the way how he had become blind, because of his parents, drunken parents. And at the time of the Grand Prix, he was walking her with a disfigured, see the word disfigured, damaged figure, spoiled figure. Okay, face a long flap of skin hanging from the side of his neck to his body. See, he was damaged, he got spoiled face and his physique also, but he was seeing and enjoying what? The Grand Prix finale, that is the car race, sorry, motor race. Yes, as the wounded healed around his neck, his, yes, as a wound healed around his neck, his lower jaw, this place. Okay, this is what jaw, J-A-W. A lower jaw became gripped in a mass of fibrous tissue. The only way this little boy could open his mouth was to raise his head. Yes, the mechanic boy, if he wants to open his mouth, he has to raise his head. Then only he will be opening his, supposed to open his mouth. Okay, like a normal human being, he is unable to open his mouth like others. Whereas how can he open his mouth? He has to raise his head and open his mouth. That much of surgery has done. When I stopped to see him after the race, he said, "You know, we won." See, what's the boy said after the motor race? He said that, "You know, we won." See, he's enjoying his hero in the motor race. He won it, and he was laughing. He was laughing. So this mechanic who lost 7 years, okay, who lost his eyesight, and he was done a huge operation on his upper part of the body, and he was unable to open his mouth, but he's enjoying the motor race. Okay, this is the way. Now the doctor consoling himself. Even the 7 years old boy enjoying his life, then how about me? Why should I feel bad? Okay, this is what God's will. He should accept. The 11th paragraph. The trolley's driver, I knew better. Now he tells the story of the driver, the trolley driver. Okay. A few years earlier, some years ago, I had successfully closed a hole in his heart. So, the driver who has a hole in his heart. Okay. The doctor, which doctor? The same Dr. Bernard who has successfully operated and closed that hole and that driver boy. And after that operation, again the boy, he had returned to the hospital again because he had a malignant tumor. See the next tragedy in his life, that is in driver's life. Already the driver was operated in his heart, that is he had a hole in his heart. It was operated successfully by the Dr. Bernard, and another time he returned to the hospital for another treatment. What's the next treatment? See, malignant tumor. Malignant tumor, a very harmful, okay, which was very harmful disease, which is grown up in our body, some part of the body. Okay, a disease which is grown up in our tissue, some part of our body. Days before the race, his shoulder and arm were amputated because of this tumor. Already the boy was operated, and again he came because of a tumor. Now, what was the operation was done to him? Yes, the boy's shoulder, the driver's shoulder and arm and shoulder were amputated. Okay, amputated. A-M-P-U-T-A-T-E-D. Amputated. Amputated means cut off by operation. Cut off by operation. Yes, there was a little hope of his recovery. Now he is recovered. After the Grand Prix, he proudly informed me that the trolley's wheels were not properly oiled, but he was a good driver. See, after the Grand Prix, after the motor race, this boy, the mechanic said, "You know, we won." Driver said, what he said? The trolley which was not properly oiled, but being a good driver, I can drive it. Because he had that much of confidence in himself. Okay, the blind boy, the mechanic, and who is suffering, he was enjoying his life. The driver who lost his hand and arm, who was operated in his heart, what he says, he wants his life to be enjoyed, and he has that much of confidence in his heart. So these are the two examples. By thinking these two characters in doctor's life, he solaces his life. Okay. Suddenly, now listen to 12th paragraph. Suddenly, I realized that these two children had given me a profound means very great. Profound means what? Very great lesson in getting on with the business of living. See, business of living. This is what the importance of living. These two boys who a driver and a mechanic, they taught me a beautiful lesson about the business of life to the doctor. Okay, because of the business of living is a joy in the real sense of the word, not just something for pleasure, amusement, or recreation. The business of living is the celebration of living. Just underline in your textbook, page number 69, paragraph number 12, the last line. The business of living is what? The celebration of being alive. What is our business in our life? We have to celebrate our life because we are alive, we are living. The last paragraph. I had not been looking at suffering from the wrong end. See, I had been looking. So when the story, when the essay, when the paragraph, when the speech has been initiated or started, he told that he was in pain and felt suffer and got anger also. He was suffering. Yes, from the beginning. I had been looking at suffering from the wrong end, but now, after thinking about these two characters, what he says, you don't become a better person. Now he speaks to the audience. Okay, now here you refers to this, the audience, you and me, those who are reading the text. You don't become a better person because you are suffering. If you think yourself that you are suffering, you will never become a great person. Instead, you become a better person because you have experienced suffering. If you want to become a great person, you have to experience your suffering. Clear? If you feel that you are suffering, you will not become a great person. This is what the central idea of this prose. If you feel that you people are suffering, then you definitely not become a great person. If you experience your sufferings, you can become a great person. So he advised us that we have to experience our suffering. We should not think that we are suffering, often demanding the God to help us like that. In my opinion, what are the problems or suffering? Problems are like traffic signals. You should understand, my dears. Problems are like what? Traffic signals. Like sufferings are like traffic signals. What we do while whenever we are going on the roadside, if traffic signal switched on, automatically we stopped. When the signal is switched on, then we move. Likewise, when you are struck by any problems, you just stop. You should not react immediately. You should not react immediately. If you have the courage to face your problem or sufferings, you can face it. If you don't have any courage, you just be silent. The way how it enters, the same way the sufferings will move out. You should not bother about it. You should go ahead in your life. So automatically you can experience your suffering. You can win your suffering. This is the formula which I am following in my life. So problems are like traffic signals, don't forget. We can't appreciate light if we haven't know the darkness. Very, very important point. So whenever we feel the importance of lightness, whenever we are in the darkness. See, for what we have so much feel. If you lost something, we may feel. In the absence of our liked one, we feel sorrow. When it comes, we do not feel sorrow like that. If you want to know the truth of light, you should be in dark. Understood? Nor can we appreciate warmth if we have neither suffered cold. So whenever we feel the support of when we need the support of warmth, whenever we are suffering in the cold. These children showed me that it is not what you have lost that is important. So what's the lesson taught by these two characters? What you have lost, that is not important. In the previous class itself, I have told you what you have lost, that is not important. What have you left to the world, that is very, very important. That is the last line of this prose. Clear? What have you lost, that is not an important one. What is very, very important? What have you left to the world? That is what is important, is what have you left, what you have left. That is what very, very important. So because of on giving this kind of a speech, that will motivate us. That will motivate us. How can we face our problem? How can we rectify from our sufferings? Okay. So in this prose, that is in celebration of being alive, what Dr. Bernard advised us, we have to experience our suffering. We should not often blame the God. We should not get any pain. Okay. We should be here to live our life. We should be here to enjoy our life. We should be here to celebrate our life, because it's a gift, it's a boon given by the God. If we people are suffering and we people are demanding the God or helping us in those, in often we will not be enjoying our life. So that through these two examples, that is a driver and mechanic, he rectified, he consoled himself in the same way. He advises us that to rectify our suffering. Clear? If you people are ourselves are having suffering, okay, if we have suffering, we should not feel bother about it. We should not feel bother about it, whereas we should leave it. Instead, there are so many ways are there to enjoy our life. Okay, we should not go only with our sufferings. Instead, in the backside, we have so many enjoyments to forget our suffering. So kindly think your life in a positive way. Don't think that this is a negative. Everything we have, everything we have. You should not think about the nothing. We should have that courage. We should know everything we have in our mind. Okay, if you think this in a positive way, automatically our suffering will be leaving us. Okay, so this is what the entire source of this prose. Okay, kindly go through the paragraph questions and short question and answers, and even the 1 mark synonyms and antonyms from your book bag, and be ready for the 1 mark test tomorrow. We have Monday. Okay, Monday we have a 1 mark test in this prose, and next week Saturday, you have a weekly test in English. Okay, thank you all.